I Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a trap for my boy.
Hey, boy, where you at?
Yeah, I've been in your rap game, Toka 2. You know I had to drop a trap for no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. On the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. Little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out Match, yeah, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandwich. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Good early evening. Me. Turn that down just a bit to keep it in the background, giving me a little bit of bop to go through here, man. Thanks anybody who's stopping in here tonight, man. I appreciate it. I know everybody and their brothers doing the YouTube show tonight, man. And, I'm here for the historic aspect of it once again. June 25th, many things in the boxing world happened on this day, and I want to share them with you. I want to keep my buzz going. I just did 150 milligram edible. My wife did one too. We did about it's 8:30 now, about 6:30, so it's kicked in nicely. And I got a little bit of crumble here to crumble mixed with liquid diamonds. I do a few dabs of that and explain a little bit about why I'm doing this show tonight. But please feel free to stop in, say hello, and let me not neglect anybody that came in here, man. The Bud Files, much love. Thank you so much for coming in. My brother, the Skywalker. Salute, my brother, Skywalker. Thank you so much for stopping by, bro. Daniel Berry, sports entertainment highlights, man. He's always stopping by, showing love. Appreciate that, Daniel Berry. And my man, the Boxing Menu Podcast. Salute, bro. The Boxing Menu Podcast Plus. And thank you much for coming by, man. This is like I stated earlier, a lot of things happened in boxing today. One very memorable for myself that I lived through, and it was what they call a precursor fight. But let me get myself on another plateau because it's hot today, man. I was up in the city of East Providence, almost the capital city of my state. I had to bring my wife. She went out and had that annual mammogram. Very important. Any ladies out there, don't neglect yearly annual checkups like that. But anyway, man, it was like 90 degrees. This was the kind of day, if you leave your dog in the car, he's gonna die kind of a day, man. It was muggy. You could bake a cake in the car. A little dabbing. My brother rolling with the punches, man. Much love to you, brother. See, today, like I said earlier, man, my wife and I brought her for that mammogram, and then we went out and had we wanted to have breakfast, but it was too late. It was 11 o'clock, and in the place we stopped in called Newport Cream. It used to be big when I was a kid. They used to have good food there, but it isn't the same. they sell this drink in there called an awful. It's this big milkshake, a real super thick milkshake, and they've always had this drink 3 get 1 free. And when I was a kid, people used to try it. Friends of mine, I'm talking about a kid when I was in high school. We'd have challenges to go drink one, and nobody ever drank that 3, man, that I can recall. And I didn't even attempt at having one today. I don't drink that kind of crap anyway. And I had a bottle of water, and as soon as I came in, the waitress was like, "Well, if it's a bottle of water, I have to charge you for it." I said, "That's okay. I know the local water tastes like it's got iodine in it, so sure, charge it for me." She brings me this fucking double-sized bottle, this Poland Springs, but it's in this big bottle with a sports nipple, almost as big as my blood boxing tumbler here. I think it was 22 ounces, and this is 20, so it's actually bigger than this. But anyway, rolling with the mushrooms. Rolling. But anyway, I had a burger, real bland. This place used to be famous back in the day. They used to make the patty melts. I even talked to some of my buddies afterwards. I told them, I said, "Man, what a letdown." And it was like $35 for fucking. My old lady had a quesadilla, and I had a Coke, and I had a freaking water and a hamburger with fries. $35. Jose Diaz, salute, brother. But hey, it is what it is, and hey, we just keep every once in a while we'll try some spot when we go out, because I don't get out that much. There ain't no point in going out. Especially if you stop for a sandwich and it's 35 balloons. But anyway, man, on this day, many things in the boxing world happen. Because see, what I do almost every day is I go in my notes, and one of the sites that I have, it's a historic calendar, the things that happened on this day. And today's like a daily double, man. Today's like a real daily double. In 1918, Benny Leonard defeats Jack Britton. Whew, imagine the historic magnitude of a fight like that. And this was via 6 rounds, and this was a newspaper decision. But anyway, all the way back to 1918. I think Nick Smith might have been at ringside for that fight. Hey, my brother over on Facebook, Brandon Caton, salute, man. Peace to you, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Then, we moved on a little bit down the calendar, man. Joe Louis knocks out the Italian elk, Primo Carnera, on this day. Technique, salute, brother. How you doing, bro? Gracias for stopping by. Joe Louis beats Primo Carnera. Joe's only 21 years old, and Primo Carnera is only 28, but he was already considered an ex-champion over the hill. But this was one of Joe Louis on his way to the title. On this day, 1935, Joe Louis defeats Primo Carnera, another one of the ex-champions, on his way to becoming the heavyweight champion. Also, Joe Louis on another famous fight on this day with my lighter. I thought I put it on my lap. Now it's gone. There it is. Joe Louis defeats Jersey Joe Walcott for the second time, knocks him out this time. The 11th round knockout. The first fight, everybody thought that Jersey Joe had beat Joe Louis in a decision. Joe Louis was awarded the decision. This was the rematch. Joe left no doubt in the rematch. Joe was the king of the rematches. On this day, 1948, one of the other many things that happened, and another thing that happened on this day. This is to me one of the biggest. Blaze won, just Blaze won. Salute, brother. Thank you much for stopping by, my man. This was the day that the great Sugar Ray Robinson, in almost 200 fights, 199 fights, Sugar Ray Robinson gets stopped on this day. He takes on Joey Maxim to try to win the light heavyweight championship. He was already a welterweight. He was already a middleweight. He didn't bother with the junior divisions. He was going to become a light heavyweight champ. He took on Joey Maxim in Yankee Stadium. New Yorkers experiencing a heat wave. It was 103 degrees that night. The referee passed out. He had to be replaced. Sugar Ray Robinson at the end of the 13th round. He couldn't come out for the 14th round. Exhausted, drained. I mean, it was like what people say was it the punches of the size and the punches of Joey Maxim. And Joey Maxim, I mean, this is a dude who went into that fight with 78 wins, 18 losses, and 4 draws. Sugar Ray Robinson went in there with 131 wins, 2 losses. And I mean, it was a historic night, man. The one and only time that the great Sugar Ray Robinson was stopped. And that was on this day in 1952. So you can see the significance of this. Patrick, how we doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my brother. Appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate your love for the boxing history, my man. Then we're going to move on a little further down the line to more of a time that I was alive. And this was on this day in 1981, man. And in 1981 in September, we had the fight of the century. We had Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. They were both. One was the WBA welterweight champion. One was the WBC welterweight champion. They were both undefeated. Low clarity. Salute, my brother. But before that fight, and only 3 months before that fight, they both fought on the same card. And this card was in Houston at the Astrodome. And it was 2 championship fights on one card. And also Pepino Cuevas was on the card. Tony Ayala was on the card. It was an event. It was on a Thursday night. My friend owned the bar, my friend JR, and it's called Andy's Bar, and we all met up over there. And see, this was a fight. This was the beginning of something new. This was something new called pay-per-view. It was where I'm from. There was no pay-per-view. There was no cable. This was an over-the-air service that they had. It was called Preview. It was $19 a month. Was it $9 a month or 19? I know it was 9. I know it ended with 9. I think it was 19. But anyway, what they would do is they showed 3 movies a night, and they were like the movies you get in Blockbuster at the time. They went first run, but after a while they were second run. So anyway, they showed 3 movies a night, and then they ventured into boxing, and everybody knew that the hugest fight. The hugest welterweight fight everybody wanted to see, Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. It was huge, man. Jose Diaz, salute, bro. Happy to see Jose Diaz in here, man. Always a pleasure, my brother. But they put together this card, and it was, like I said, it was on a Thursday night. Sugar Ray Leonard is coming into the biggest fight of his life. He already fought Roberto Duran. He has the defeat from Roberto Duran under his belt. He came back in the famous No Mas fight. He had a few other fights after that. And then Thomas Hearns, once again, like I said, Thomas Hearns had beaten Pepino Cuevas the year before, defended his title a couple of times, and this was a precursor. They're both being highlighted on this card. Sugar Ray Leonard is fighting for the WBA junior middleweight title against undefeated Ayub Kalule. I mean, this guy's going to fight the biggest fight of his life, get multi-millions of dollars at the time. I think he made $10 million, roughly $10 million. Today, that'd be about $30 million. And Hearns, the same thing. Hearns took on a dude named Pablo Diaz. Carl Hansen, my brother, good morning to you, man. Salute. Thomas Hearns played it kind of safe. He took on Pablo Diaz. Pablo Diaz had he didn't have an impressive record. I think he had something like a 10, 14-9, something like that. But anyway, hey man, why don't I just pull these up while I'm talking? I can show these fights because man, my buddy Vintage Boxing, my buddy Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel, they got them on there, and yeah, the first one I'm gonna pull up is the Hitman and Pablo Baez. Let's see, we're gonna present these, share the content. There we go.
Baez, 23 years.
Can't really put the volume on there, but yeah. See, man, this is the fight I was telling you about. This was the they showed they showed Tony Ayala on this card, and then they went right to Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns against Pablo Baez. Pablo Baez, like I said earlier, you knew him if you read magazines. If you were a boxing if you were a fan of the game, if you were casual, you had no idea who he was. But he was good enough to get a shot with undefeated 31-0 Thomas Hearns. At the time, what did it say he was? 14-7. And after this, he got name recognition after this fight, and he fought some recognizable names in the welterweight division. Didn't pull up any major victories, but this was his shot in the spotlight. He got to take on undefeated Thomas Hearns, Emmanuel Stewart standing behind him, and Hearns' next fight is already signed on the dotted line. If he gets beat in this fight, the multi-million-dollar payday with Sugar Ray Leonard is off. And you got to understand, man, Thomas Hearns is only 22 years old right now. He's on a major card. He's in a no-lose situation. He loses this fight, he loses out on a multi-million-dollar payday, but that's not the way they did it. They didn't like to let these fights marinate. And as you can see, man, long, lanky Thomas Hearns, 6'1", 147 pounds. That's a freak at that weight. Yes, this was, my brother. Demetrius Bright, salute to you, my man. Much thanks for stopping by, Demetrius. And I remember this night like it was yesterday. Like I said, man, we got together at the bar, and there was this one dude there. His name was Cooper Taunton, and he had an apartment right down the street, and he had Preview, the pay-per-view service I was telling you about. No cable at the time. This is all over-the-air stuff. You had to have a special antenna to get Preview. You had to pay a monthly fee to get it. And anyway, this was available, but this you had to pay for because pay-per-view was being tested because within 3 months they wanted to sell the Sugar Ray Leonard Thomas Hearns fight for the first time ever to a home audience. This was before before any fight that I knew was available on home TV. HBO was available, but fights, not fights of this magnitude. This was a pay-per-view quality. Well, actually, the precursor, I don't know if you could call this yes, it was in the same year. It was only 3 months before, Carl. This was on this day in 1981. It was a hot night like tonight. I can feel the same fucking heat in the air, the same humidity. It was the same thing, brother. Except it was 43 years ago. I was what? 26 years old? Styling and profiling. And I remember this dude, man. He used to drink Miller beer. And nobody liked it, but went to his house, and that's what he had, so we had to drink that piss. We had primo weed. I know I was popping some Percodan that night, and it was truly an event night. It wasn't a night out like they usually are, like the fights are, because I was just with some low-crumb bum guys. We just got the pizza, we got the potato chips, man. And look at Thomas Hearns with those fucking combinations. And he's got a willing participant in front of him, man. He's got Pablo Baez. Baez is out of Los Angeles, California, born in the Dominican Republic, was a named welterweight who was pretty much in the ring with many contenders before he was in there with Thomas Hearns. He was in there with Zeferino Gonzalez, up-and-coming contender out of New York, who he has a victory over. Horace Shufford out of England, a top welterweight at the time. He's also got a victory over the legendary, he was beaten by the legendary Esteban de Jesus, who has a victory and 2 defeats from Roberto Duran. So I mean, he was not a cab driver. You know, he was a very, very tough Latin fighter, brought in here to showcase Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns was still kind of an unknown factor to the general public. The boxing fans, they knew who Thomas Hearns was, but the general public, they really didn't. So like I said, man, this was the precursor. And all the fans who were going to watch if you're going to see Leonard and Hearns, you're going to buy this one. And I think it was at a cheap price, too. I think this was only about $20. In fact, I think I picked up the tab, if I recall. The dude's house we had it on, and this was 43 years ago. I don't think I ever seen the son of a bitch since then, because I'm pretty sure he still owes me like $100 or something, 150. I can't remember, bro. This was back in the day. But anyway, man, we're up there. We're all sloshed, and we're kicking back. Sugar Ray Leonard on this card, and people are asking me, they're saying, is this the Hearns-Leonard fight? I'm saying, no. They're on the same card, but it's a different fight. And I had to explain that to a lot of people. A lot of people said, no, that fight's not tonight. I'm like, calm down. You're not missing anything. This, my man, is like Carl said, man, that was the word that I used back in the day and still use it today, the precursor. Thomas Hearns, light on his feet. I called Tim Witherspoon earlier. In fact, I called him about a half hour ago, but went right to voicemail. Either he's on the line or something's up, but I see if he wanted to come in here, but because he likes to critique fights like this, and he's the one that tells you he blames Hearns' demise on his lack of defense. And he knows the Kronk style. He knows Emmanuel Stewart, and he said they just lack defense. And if you can see, man, Hearns keeps his hands down low, but he's fighting a guy that's not returning a lot of fire, not a counter puncher, not a mover, just kind of standing there trading bombs. And Thomas Hearns is the guy that you don't want to trade bombs with, man. You're gonna come up on the short end. We're halfway through round 2. This is scheduled for 15 rounds too, man. This is a WBA welterweight championship fight. So understand, man, Pablo Baez, and even after this fight, he was brought in as opponent for Mark Breland. He was brought in as an opponent for Donald Curry. He was brought in as an opponent once again for Horace Shufford. You know, he was a loser who had a well-respected name, who had been in there with some of the best. But on this night, Thomas Hearns was definitely not going to be stopped by anybody, man. Thomas Hearns was on the road to Sugar Ray Leonard. And as you can see, and I remember watching this fight, and I'm saying to myself, I wonder why Hearns isn't fighting somebody tougher. See, I didn't understand the importance of Thomas Hearns not losing. So I'm looking at, hey, De Niro, what's up, my brother? I'm looking at Sugar Ray Leonard taking on Ayub Kalule, undefeated Ayub Kalule for a world title. And I'm thinking, why doesn't Hearns take on somebody for a world title? Why doesn't he go on and take on, I think it was Maurice Hope was the champ at the time. But as we can see, Thomas Hearns getting ready to shine 3 months later in a losing effort. A fight that really nobody lost, man. Oh, Hearns is just ready to throw the bomb on when the bell rings. And you can see this is put on there from a VCR, and this is from my brother Vintage Boxing. They get the VCR, and snap the commercial out, and put it back on there. But we're going back to June 25th, 1981. What a time, man! What a time! I think I was driving my Fiat X19. Didn't have too many cares in the world. BVO, salute my brother. And we are at the legendary Astrodome. Hey, the boxing kangaroo, man, Carl. Much love, brother. A super chat, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it like you wouldn't believe, my brother. My wife said, "You're not gonna make any money." I said, "Baby, you know it's not the money I'm in here for, but it's just so appreciated." And man, Carl, my hat's off to you, brother. What I have to do is I'm gonna go. In fact, Skywalker gave me the idea. I'm gonna go get a new bong, and I'm gonna do a major. It's gonna be a lung ripping. It's one of these fucking bongs that take your head off, and I'm gonna do a bong when I get a super chat. And everybody's gotta have a gimmick. The OG super chat. And some of these other clowns bang bells and whistles and everything else. I'll do a major hit on the toka, man. I'll get a new bomb. De Niro, you weren't born yet, bro? Oh, man, I'm old enough to be your father. 15 rounds was in itself, man. That's what separates the men from the boys. I don't, people say bring it back. Nah, no way. Fighters would scream like little bitches. They would never take that back. Never, ever in a million years would they take that back. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised to see them shorten the championship fights to 10 rounds, man. 1981, man. I'm serious when I say it doesn't even seem like that long. Honest to God, when I saw this today in my book of historic boxing events. Well, De Niro, then you were right there, brother. 41. This was what, 43 years ago. You were a little bambino, weren't you? No, you were a twinkle in your daddy's eye. Maybe. Depends on how long you knew your mom. But this was such a fun night. And I remember the dude didn't have AC either. It was hot in his house, but we didn't care back then. You know, today I didn't turn my AC on either. Everybody I talked to, they had their ACs on. It was right now it's 75 out there. I think it's probably 80, 82, 83 in my living room. I'm gonna guess, but it's not air condition worthy yet. And believe me, I'm not cheap. I'll put the air conditioner on if I feel like we need it. Just don't need it, and it feels better without it. Cause I get the ocean, the sea air coming at me. There's a little breeze out there. A buzzing sound? Oh man. I got my fan on. Let me see if I turn my fan off, if it'll stop. Cause I don't really need the fan on. That's the only thing that it would be. Did that do it? Oh, look at Thomas Hearns unloading on Pablo Baez. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. I guess in the summer it's going to be tough with the fans and the air conditioners and stuff. I just have to blast my music a little bit louder. Oh man, you look at toe to toe, and Thomas Hearns just That's it. That's it. That's it. He doesn't want to kill the guy. Thomas Hearns has done enough. 32-0 with 30 knockouts, getting ready to go into the bout with Sugar Ray Leonard. Fantastic. Getting his hugs by his comrades from the Kronk Gym, the late great Emmanuel Stewart. Check out the. We'll check out some replay. Boom! The right hand. Oh my God! Downstairs to the body, and once he gets you in that corner, that's the hit, man. Unfortunately, he's not getting nailed by return fire. In his career, he would get nailed by some serious counter punches. He would get nailed by some devastating punches off the ring, like the Iran Barclays, the Leonards. But in this fight, look at him, man, just picking, and that's it. Referee saw his head snap back. He saw that the back of his head hit his shoulder blades. He says, "No, that's it. He's done."
Do you really think this guy was quality? Should have been in with you for the welterweight title.
But Doc, Baez was a great fight. I thought Baez was a really good opponent. He made it difficult for me. It was just that I had to change my style in order to really get to Baez. My jab was working all right, but I want more than the jab to work. I was trying to get the left hook and the right hand to work, which it started working in the later rounds. But when we got to the third round, the jab and hook off the jab were working very well for me. So next thing I wanted to get in was the straight right hand.
Well, you certainly got enough of those. And I want to say that in the first two rounds, we felt that you could have put them away just about any time. Then you eased up in the third and fourth and tried different combinations and different things. Then you came on to finish.
That's when I tried something different. I wanted to try another style of boxing to try to get to him more so than I was the first round with the jab. I wanted to get to him a little bit more and try to end the fight.
Well, this certainly helped you to stand out from the shadow of Sugar Ray Leonard, as we talked about earlier today. And I want to tell you, it certainly made the fight coming up in September a barn burner to come.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Doc.
Right now, let's go back to Bruce.
Like I said, man, we're getting ready for the barn burner coming up in September. And you know that barn burner was, man, that would be Sugar Ray Leonard, his opponent. But Sugar Ray Leonard, to get to that fight, he has to win this fight. And this is not an easy fight, bro. He's taking on undefeated WBA junior middleweight champion Ayub Kalule. This is as tough a fight as we see Bud Crawford moving up in weight from welterweight, taking on the junior middleweight champion. Isn't this kind of similar to that? Think about that, man. Because Bud's doing this as Bud wants to win this fight and have his big fight with Canelo, right? So this is kind of like the as much as things happen today, man. You know, it's all kind of stuff that happened before. It's pretty much stuff that I saw back in the day. And let me see. Let's bring up Sugar Ray Leonard, because, like I said earlier, man, Sugar Ray Leonard had to do his part in this fight. Thomas Hearns just did his, and now Sugar Ray Leonard, man. Sugar Ray Leonard was 25 years old, and he's taking on 27-year-old Ayub Kalule, a champion in his own right, undefeated. And this is back in the day, no IBF, only 2 champs. So this was considered the best man at 154. Look at that one, Patrick. There you go, man. Little bit of a difference. You know, we're not going to say the fighters of today. I like the fighters of yesterday, because at 25, you think anybody today would be ready for a major fight like this coming up, man? I mean, they're just not built. They're not of the same cloth. Sugar Ray Leonard was 25 years old, Carl. And let me see. Let me use my capabilities here, and we'll bring Sugar Ray Leonard in the ring, man. This is Sugar Ray Leonard's chance to make good on his portion of the the precursor, my man. And see, that's a sharp word, Carl, man. You know, I mentioned that earlier in the show. I used to use that word because I used to sell pro hormones, and right now we're talking about supplements. And pro hormones were sold as a precursors to testosterone, which is what they are. They're 1 or 2 molecules away. They stimulate the gonads to produce more testosterone and blah 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 blah. But anyway, I was using that word back in the 90s, man. It was a buzzword to sell these supplements. 25-year-old Hearns. I don't know, man. I hate those fantasy fights because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. But here we are. We're getting ready. I'm gonna do another Toka 2, man. Taking on Ayub Kalule, ranked #1 Ring Magazine in the junior middleweights. Taking on Sugar Ray Leonard, ranked #1 in the Ring Magazine in the welterweights. People said he was crazy taking this fight. And there's a tail of the tape. Leonard's up to... And you know, a funny thing, after this fight, I said, why does Leonard want to go back to welterweight again? Because if they did it today, well, Angelo Dundee, the Puerto Rican referee, I know that referee, man. The referee's name is Carlos Baracal. And see, the referee at the time, they only had 2 judges and a referee. The referee had just as much scoring power as 2 of the judges. So Carlos Baracal, he was a judge at this fight along with Ishmael Wiso and Hermano Candino. See, only Carlos, I remember Carlos, but the other 2 cats don't remember their names at all. And usually I remember things like that from back in the day, back in the 80s. I can't remember what I had for lunch today, but well, I do, because I told you I went to Newport Creamery and had a burger, a plain old burger and fries. She said ketchup, mustard, no. I like them like Brandon, plain. That's what I've been eating for years. Tony Weeks would have been something. I think the fight would have been over already. He would have put his money on Ayub Kalule and stopped the fight. Amazing odds, I'm sure. And you can see Kalule, awesome fighter, almost a carbon copy of Leonard. Standing, you know, a lot of head movement, feigning side to side, shooting out his. Was he a southpaw? Yep, shooting out a right jab. So Leonard's taking on an undefeated fighter, a southpaw, and if he loses this one, he blows $10 million against Thomas Hearns. Hey, Yankee Kyle, my brother. Salute, man. Good to see you in here, my man. Drop your link, Yankee Kyle. Anybody over here, go sub to Yankee Kyle, bro. He's zoning in on getting his channel monetized, and we help him out as much as possible. He's always shouting me out over there, man. Always giving me support, and we do the same too, my friends. Do the same. Goes to any one of you. If you want to drop your link, please do. If not, just click their links and go over there. Don't stay over there, bro. Oh, look at that, man. Leonard with a beautiful left hook. Leonard, unbelievably fast hands. I sat at ringside. I saw Sugar Ray Leonard take on Floyd Mayweather Sr. I've told you guys that story a million times. But look at Leonard. Leonard's in his face. Leonard was cocky when he fought, man. Man, I never saw hands move that fast. There's young Ray Leonard Jr., man. He was back in the commercials back then. Leonard used to tell Duran, don't you say nothing, you know, he was always afraid Duran was going to scare his son, say something negative. Duran was nuts, but Duran didn't go after the children. Called his wife a punta, but didn't bother with the kids. In fact, both of their kids, they did a commercial together, a 7-Up commercial, Ray Leonard Jr. and Roberto Duran Jr. It was hilarious, man. But they're in there for for the second round, man. And as you can see, Kalule is trying to do the stalking. Leonard's moving around, doing the boxing. Great footwork. Just did a little shuffle in there. Come in, sneaks a left hook. I mean, this was Sugar Ray Leonard at his freaking just before his peak. Just reaching his peak, man. No eye damage yet. Wasn't gun shy. Just an amazing night for Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns and myself. I had a great night too. We went back to the bar and it ended like they usually end. So it was a cool night back in the day, man. 1981. And Kalule is causing Leonard fits in the swing. Leonard said afterwards he didn't know what was going on. He was so surprised by the strength and the skill of Kalule. Rascalot, salute my brother. Salute. But the night has the same feeling to it though, bro. It really does. Kalule landing the right hook. Both exchanging good bombs in the center ring. Kalule's got a sneaky left hand. Leonard's got to look out for that. But Leonard, triple left hook. I mean, Sugar Ray is just a man right here, bro. Oh. The head movement. The sneaky overhand right. Oh, a young man. 25 years old. Woo. Going for his second world title. And him and Hearns, they had that rivalry all through their careers. Who was going to become the first boxer to win five world titles, championships in 5 different classes. Drinking a lot of water today, man. Smoking a lot of weed and drinking a lot of water. All good. Rascalot, you like to make those predictions in the fantasy fights, man. I love to see them, bro. I think that's the thing with the computer games now. We can put these fights together and get a pretty good idea how they go with each other. I think as the internet gets more advanced, we'll be able to put them in where they'll look just like this. They kind of do now with the AI. But man, that would be a hell of a fight. See, the thing is with Bud, we haven't seen him KO'd. We haven't seen him lose a fight yet, so it's so hard to imagine that happening. You know, I want to see him I want to see him take on Canelo. I want to see him. I want to see how he handles himself against a junior middleweight. I think this next fight is going to be a cakewalk for him personally. But hey, what do I know, man? If I was correct predicting fights, I'd be a rich man. I usually predict them wrong. I call a hell of a fight after it happens, but not too well when it comes to gambling for calling a fight gambling. I don't think I even bet on this one. I don't think you could find bets. Everybody pretty much had Leonard, and the bookies in my town back then, man. The guy really didn't know a lot of boxing, and I started winning money off him, and he didn't want to take any more boxing bets with me. So he had to get some other people in there to help him with boxing, and then it became too advanced for me, and I quit gambling. But earlier in the career, I did well. But as far as trying to make big money, forget about it. Liam Perro, there you go, Carl. I thought that when I saw the WBA promoted the guy who beat Gary Russell the other night, what's his name? Padillo, things with a P also. I thought it was Perro when I first saw it. I thought they promoted him to title. But that's crazy, man. You know, they take Devin's title, promote somebody else to it. It's fucking ridiculous, all these belts today. I don't even know why Haney wants a belt after losing it to Ryan Garcia, which was, you know, just crazy. Puello, there you go. But I thought that was Perro when I first saw it a couple of days ago. But an email champ, I guess we can call him. And Sugar Ray's getting hammered in this fight. Make no doubt about it, man. He's got to keep those hands high, those elbows in. Kalule knows, man. Kalule can become a multi-millionaire, a historic figure if he can beat the. And I'm not even going to say the undefeated. Ray, look at toe-to-toe action here. Unbelievable there. This is when Leonard was at his finest. This is when I love Sugar Ray Leonard, when he fought like this. When he got down, moved those hands, lightning speed, fucking accuracy. Look at that head movement. Boom. You see that right hand? He's got, oh! Sugar Ray at his best, man. See, he wants to outshine Thomas Hearns because Thomas Hearns made a great showing earlier in the card, knocking out Pablo Baez. And was it 2 rounds or was it in 4? I think it was in 4 rounds. But Sugar Ray, he wanted to top that. He wanted to end the fight there. Nope, it's not going to happen. He's with somebody a little bit tougher than Pablo Baez, but Sugar Ray's acknowledging, man. Sugar Ray acknowledges, you're one tough SOB. What are you saying, Rascalot? Cheater is a cheater. Yeah, hey, man. If you cheat, you cheat. Here we go. Now, do you think Leonard chose this fight because of the style is a little reminiscent of Hearns? But I don't see it. Or did he just do this to get another belt, a little more legacy? Because Leonard, bro, unlike fighters today, Leonard's fighting for money, for fame, and for legacy. Chalking up another title before he becomes an undisputed welterweight championship. Now, this was so big in the day. And we're talking about the 2-belt era, too. Not where you can go get a manufactured title like that. You want a title fight? Okay, we're going to strip him, give him the belt. You're number 1 contender. You got a title fight. No. That's not the way it worked. You had to call out that challenger. You had to get yourself ranked and recognized, and then you had to win the title. Oh, look at Ray Leonard ripping those shots to the body. Somebody just mentioned that freaking left hook to the liver. Patrick, yes. Patrick, absolutely, man. Those are kind of the ones that he broke Hearns down with. That left hook to the liver, then went upstairs with it. You can see Ayub Kalule is slowed down a little bit. Sugar Ray Leonard is still walking and stalking, but Kalule plants his feet, rips a combination, gets Leonard's attention back again. Sneaky southpaw with that left jab, shooting that straight left over Leonard's right hand. Very interesting stuff. Oh, Leonard with that uppercut. Just when you think you're fighting him on the outside, boom. Gets inside, nails with that short uppercut, bang. Look at those combinations. You gotta appreciate the skill. Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard nails him go on the back foot, nails him with the right hand. There, look, action galore right here. Kalule does not want to give up his title. Another round. Leonard raises his hands after every round. The fans are loving it. Round number 7. I'm back on this night. I just got that head rush. I'm going to do another one, see if I can maintain it. Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard definitely had a chin. He went down when he got his feet, when his feet weren't under him. But he got back up. Just an amazing fighter. I was lucky to watch the career of Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, had the eye injury, took a lot of time off, took a lot of prime time off, but man, it gave us so much. Didn't fuck around. Oh, Kalule working nice. Kalule working real nice. Straight left hand. I wonder if Sugar Ray's thinking 15 rounds, man. This kid's starting to come on. The fight's not even half over. Kalule roughs him up, throws a couple nice body shots. Gets Leonard on the ropes. You don't see Leonard on the ropes too often. Unbelievable call, huh? Generational talent. Lived up to expectations. Kalule is trying to get inside, drop an overhand left. Oh, Leonard's a little bit short with that counter right hand. Kalule had a pretty good round so far. When men were men were men were men. Oh, Leonard likes to end the rounds with a flurry. He has that instinct, that gift where he knows 30 seconds to go, time to steal a round. Shoe shine, move those hands, get some points going, impress those judges. Man, I would give that round to Ayub Kalule though, man. Ayub Kalule hung in tough. I wonder how they scored that round. Let me look at the, let me see. The referee had, at the time of the stoppage, the referee had Leonard ahead 78-76. One judge had Leonard ahead 78-75, and the other one had him ahead 78-76. So they had Leonard up pretty much 2 rounds. Leonard was guaranteed $2.5 million for this fight. Kalule made $150,000. This fight, it took them till July 5th before they rebroadcast this on NBC Sports World. So that's how big a fight this was, man. It took them 2 weeks before we finally saw this fight on regular TV, man. And they use it to sell the upcoming Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard super fight. This was a Bob Arum promotion. Arum predicted to the media that Kalule would beat Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, he had some crazy quotes in there, man. He stated, I don't want you saying that I sabotaged the Hearns Leonard fight. Bob Arum even said before the fight, he said this whole card is idiotic. This could ruin one of my biggest plans that I have for fights. But you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, his camp decided on it. They said it was worth the risk. Estimated between 25 and 30,000 people watching this fight. See, Leonard had those black trunks on in this fight, and there's, if you notice on the left-hand side, there's a little cobra. And Ayub Kalule is from Africa, and they from Uganda, and they actually thought that was a curse that Leonard was putting on Kalule during this fight. I mean, there was some crazy. This was crazy, a crazy time. The Kalule came on in the 7th and 8th round. He's a defending champion, and he's really showing signs that he does not want to lose that title. But he's taking on somebody, a man on a mission. And you watch when this fight is over. Leonard's going to try to pull a Tank Davis. Or should I say, Tank Davis is going to try to pull a Leonard. But you watch, this is where Sugar Ray Leonard bites down on the mouthpiece. He realizes he's in this very, very dangerous situation. One shot from this champion could end it, man. You know, Leonard, one shot, and Leonard's saying bye-bye to $10 million plus, a record purse for a non-heavyweight at the time. Leonard moving forward, though, both hands, those Kalule on the back foot, great counter punches. Leonard's not going to let him off the hook. Oh, ripping to the body. They're just going at it with each other, man. Leonard was a shock too. When Sugar Ray Leonard smelled blood, that was it. He was a true finisher in the game. And you gotta understand, Kalule has won the last 2 rounds. He's beginning to see a little bit. He's beginning to see some hope. Oh! Kalule down for the first time in his career. I remember, see that picture right there of him on gloves on the floor, on his ass. That was the picture they showed, and that was it. Referee looked at him. Cena, salute. Thank you so much for coming in, my sister. Referee took a look at Ayub Kalule. No complaints. Like I said earlier, Ray Leonard was a finisher. If they had allowed this fight to go on, it would have gotten ugly. We'll see what Leonard has to say at the end of the fight. And once again, thanks so much to my friend over at Vintage Boxing and Nick M's Classic Boxing channel for allowing me to use these fights. You guys want to watch some good fights, bro? Go check out both of those channels, Nick M and Vintage Boxing. Great channels on YouTube. Budweiser, back in the day, Budweiser was the main sponsor of the fights. That was pay-per-view. You went out and bought a case of Budweiser. And look at Leonard with that combination. We're going to see that again. Drops Ayub Kalule. He gets up. The referee looks him over, says, no. Your eyeballs are in the back of your head, son. You're going to live to fight another day. And he did. We'll put that on so we can hear that.
I give the guy a great deal of credit. He put up a tremendous fight, and I like to eat my words when I call him an advanced southpaw. The guy's truly a worthy champion.
Sugar, did he at any time in the fight hurt you?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I thought I pulled a muscle in my left arm. That's the reason I had to lay back until I got myself readjusted.
There was a rumor that you had hurt your left side in training. Is that a lot of baloney?
Not at all, Bill. A lot of baloney. I feel that I prepared for this fight. Unfortunately, I was in tip-top shape and no injuries involved.
This the best one you've ever had?
Well, I tell you what it is. That means I am one man that is two champions in one world. I think that's quite unique.
I will tell you this, it really was. Ray, seated next to me, is Marvin Hagler. Would you like a piece of him?
No question about it, because I regard Marvin Hagler as one of the greatest middleweight champions in the world. And somewhere down the line, he deserves a big payday, and I will give him that. But you know who's next? Tommy Hearns.
Well, Juanita, I can't tell you what you did to your husband, but something triggered him off.
I knew it was going to go in between 8 and 8:10. I knew it.
Did you tell him you got to get home? Let's get this thing over.
I told him, I said, let's go home. Let's go home, get it
What do
over
you think
with.
about it, baby? Your father really looked good. You picked it in 10 rounds. You're going to be the next Muhammad Ali of this century. You're picking the rounds now. And here,
Glad we got it over with.
yeah,
Ready to go home.
everything went well. Here comes Dad. Here comes Sugar Ray Leonard. I want to tell you, Sugar Ray, your wife and your son both picked the round. Said we want to go home.
Well, you know, Freddie, they all the boxing critics said this guy was just a pushover. And he proved them wrong once again, just like Larry Bonds proved all the boxing critics wrong. The guy is a champion, and I think outside his family, the belt was the most valuable thing in his life.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you without less movement than you had. That you just stood right in front of him like you knew that this guy couldn't hurt you, and you went right after him.
Well, that proved my effectiveness. They say that this Kalule was much too big, much too strong for me. But you know, Freddie, I feel that I've been learning a great deal from fighting great fighters and champions like Wilfredo Benitez, Roberto Duran, and on and on. And I'm able to put my punches together. And the guys I'm facing today are truly champions.
And very tough champions at that. He took everything you threw there for a while.
I hit him with some shots that I thought would normally take out a heavyweight champion. But once again, I give Ayub Kalule a great deal of credit.
We were listening in the corner. Both Jenks and Angela were saying, use your left hand. You're going right hand crazy. You seem to be hitting him with every right hand you threw.
Yeah, well, I tried to pretty much emulate what I did to Tony Chevron with the right hands. But this guy proved that he was a little more elusive. And I thought I pulled a muscle in my left hand. That was the left arm route, and that's the reason I minimized the punching. But I feel great for it, and I'm glad that you're here once again.
All right, one last thing. We're heading into maybe the biggest fight since the first Ali Frazier fight. Your feelings on that right before you go to the dressing room?
Well, before I go to the dressing room, I'm truly looking forward to fighting Tommy Hearns, and Hearns knows fully well I will defeat him.
Here's Tommy. He wants you fight.
The time has come. Reality is September 16th. All the talk you've been making, I'm not trying to put on a show for TV. I want you to prove every word that you said.
Ray,
We're gonna
I'm
meet.
definitely the man to see.
Put down the microphone. You sound like a dummy.
Hey, I'm definitely a man to see,
with-
Ray. Hey,
And
I'll
back
tell you one thing,
Devon
Ray. You forget
ringside.
what all you say, everything you say, Ray. Will
Unbelievable, my brothers and my sisters. Did I see my brother KO? Yes, my brother KO, boxing breakthrough news, boxing breaking news. Salute, my bro. Back from driving an Uber for 2 weeks for the College World Series. Congratulations to Tennessee, man. Congratulations to you, bro. Hey, man. I've been doing a lot of Uber driving lately. I go to my doctor's appointments, my wife's doctor's appointments. There's a thing with our insurance that gives us free Uber rides. Make sure we tip them well. I always give them $10 one way. So if I get a trip to the doctors, it's $20. It's well worth it though, man. Those guys door to door, never late, never early. Great job, man. Shout out to Uber drivers, man. And shout out to my brother KO Boxing out there, man. And no, he's not still with his wife, Carl. He divorced her way back. He got into Sugar then had a crazy life, man. He got into the Coca-Cola. He an amazing career. And we just saw him and Tommy Hearns getting ready for the fight of the century that's coming up. Like the man said, probably the biggest fight since Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali to this day. But I just wanted to share that fight with you that night, man. 43 years ago today, I was around. I'm still around. I'll be around another 43 years if we play our cards right. But Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and More. About 9:30 Eastern Time. I will go trolling around YouTube a little bit, see who's doing their thing. And I appreciate everybody that came in here, man. And Carl, much appreciation for that super chat, my brother. This Toka 2's on you, my man. Salute. I'll go somewhere and find a good open panel. But in the meantime, I'm out of here. Put my traveler music on.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Hey, where you at?
Yeah, I've been in your wrestling boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Ayub. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. The people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. Little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out Mad Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sample. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and this shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat.